Well, hey folks, it's your old pal King Washpinator. Welcome back to Total Party Skills. Finally, got some woke D&D stuff to talk about. Yes, delicious ratings and views and likes and subscribes. Hit the buttons now. Saw a headline last night. I would have done a video about it last night, but it was already kind of late when I saw it, so I decided to save it for this morning because the point is pretty simple. But the headline was that a lead game developer at Wizards of the Coast is saying that future D&D products will allow any creature to be any alignment, even devils. And so, of course, like the whole framing of the article in question is that devils are going to be good guys, guys. No, not good devils. How terrible. I mean, like, obviously, you know, the various hot takes people are going to have on this, or hell, even the very obvious cold takes that people are going to have on this are already being said and done ad infinitum. I would just like to point out one thing. This has always been the case, going all the way back to the very most original versions of Dungeons & Dragons and all role-playing games. The standard stat block for monsters is just a suggestion. It's something that you can use on the fly for random tables or just to help you save a little time, not having to personally handcraft each and every single last fucking NPC and monster and critter that your player characters may encounter on their adventures. But from the very beginning, it has always been encouraged for game masters, dungeon masters, whatever you're calling yourselves, to go off book and personally tailor, personalize, revise, and tweak the stats and concepts and lore and settings of anything found in any D&D book. It's part of the entire premise of what a homebrew setting is so that you can decide how everything operates, you can decide what the lore is, what the origins of the various creatures, how they interact, whether they're good guys or bad guys, or secretly good guys or secretly bad guys. This has always been in our control, and whether or not a book says that goblins are chaotic or chaotic evil has no actual influence on how you want to treat goblins in your games. So, in many ways, this is kind of a much ado about nothing. It's also not even all that much of an announcement. I could have sworn we've already kind of heard these sort of rumblings out of Wizards of the Coast already over the last year, that part of the shift that we are to experience in 1D&D is this more kind of universalized, do whatever you want, play whatever you want. That's actually kind of just undermined the premise of what a game is and just created into just a big sloppy life simulator where you can fight things or have tea with them, whatever you want. I mean, yeah, I guess that's about it. There's really not a whole lot to say. Game masters, dungeon masters, storytellers, referees, judges, lore keepers, whatever it is, the terminology that you find best suits your role as the person trying to run these games. It's always been entirely in your control how you want to present anything that the players encounter. Really, when it comes right down to it, the easier, more practical answer to all of this is to just finally ditch the alignment system altogether. There's, maybe a little bit of a practical reason to keep it around. I mean, a protection against good or a protection against evil spell kind of needs some way to determine whether or not the creature trying to enter, the little area that the spell affects would be affected by the spell, because it's kind of subjective without an alignment system as determining, well, is this a person evil or good? And so, the alignment system does like tag things in that way. But, I mean, you can't just have like a protection spell or a shield spell up or some sort of circle thing to replace that. Do we really need the protection versus good and evil spell that much? The alignment system has always been controversial. Always. Going back to like when it was like the line between law and chaos, and then they add good and evil into the mix, and people arguing or not understanding or having different ideas as to how these things are supposed to combine. What is chaotic evil? What is chaotic good? What is lawful neutral? really, they're just supposed to be a little shorthand note so that if you're having trouble figuring it out how your player character is going to react to something, it's just something on your character sheet you can look at to kind of give you some sort of lamp post to help guide you through the fog of like, well, he's lawful good, so maybe he would react this way. If, and only if, you're having trouble deciding how your character should react to something. And in the end, you know, the in-the-moment natural instinct of the player is what should win through anyway. So really, who cares? Yet here we are, though. I'm sure it's like tons of people are up in arms over the idea that every once in a while you might run into a devil or a demon who's not have a heart of cold black ice from deep in the pits of hell. I mean, like, as a Buddhist, good and evil don't even fucking exist anyway, so I guess suck on that. I don't know. I guess that's about as good of a controversy as we can get out of D&D this week. Old news, repackaged as if it's new news, announcing a change that is unnecessary because we've always had the option to do whatever we want to do with any NPC or creature we decide to use in our games. So congratulations, everyone. We did it. We finally did it. And you can do it by hitting like and subscribe. Check out Total Party Skills' publisher page on DriveThruRPG. Or buy print copies of those very same books on Amazon just by doing a title search. And until next time, stay evil. Ah!